Start, right? Please go on, Shrey.
Okay, ma'am. The presentation is visible, right? Okay. Hello. I'll start this by telling you all how worried I am. How worried I am about where humanity is heading. Now, this might be weird coming from a kid, but now when I scroll through social media, I don't feel good. Partly because I wasted my time, but mostly because I saw how good other people are, how good their lives are, and how good they can sing, how good they look. But this lets me experience their life. But when I return to my own, I feel empty. This happens, I guess, with all of us, and makes us jealous, insecure, and not as happy as we could be. But wait, it gets pretty worse. Let me introduce you to echo chambers. Now, every person on this call has used YouTube, and the only thing that matters for these apps is audience retention. Now, let's say you want to buy a phone and you come across a video saying Samsung is better than Apple. Now, you realize that Samsung is actually better than Apple, and YouTube will realize that and make and the algorithm will show you more videos related to that. Now you start watching more and more videos. You start making tweets about how good Samsung is, and people start commenting and telling you how right you are. Now you get so sure that you won't even be able to listen to another person's opinion. Now you start spreading negativity, and it's not even your fault. This might be not as bad for adults, but for adolescents who can be shaped, get affected very deeply. Not only does the country and the now not only the country keeps on developing, but we stop upgrading the education system for kids. Now, I have a one-stop solution for this, presenting Janus. Janus is a mobile app that you can download to get articles on both free and paid life coaching. You can opt for one-to-one life coaching, career counseling, and sex education. Now, let's talk about money. So there are 250 million teenagers going to school right now, out of which 119 million go to private schools. So even if 10% of those buy the cheapest product that we have, we are going to have a revenue of $3.75 billion. This would put our monthly revenue at $310 million, which is in Indian currency 2,100 crore per month, and it's excluding ads, sponsors, commissions, and memberships. Now, my dear friend and co-founder of Janus, Panayya, would tell you about who our customers are.
Like my friend explained what Janus is, I would be enthralled to tell you that we will not only be helping and targeting teenagers, but we will also be partnering up with institutions to give students personalized packages and discounts. One of our priorities would also be to target parents who want to give their children career counseling, life coaching, and therapy. Our biggest priority would be to help and target teenagers with depression, those who are self-conscious and have anxiety. We also want to provide career counseling to confused teenagers who are unsure which stream suits them. And lastly, we want to unshield the taboo of sex education and enable teenagers to get the right knowledge on it. You must wonder, why Janus? Well, let me tell you why. For starters, Janus allows teenagers to relieve stress, maintain and grow self-esteem, and live in a positive ecosystem within a community where they can express themselves freely. Secondly, we provide everything a teenager needs, including therapy, sex education, life coaching, and career counseling. Thirdly, we have customized packages for one's needs and AI bots who understand problems and regularly show progress. And last but not least, we provide sex education, a must-need in society. These are the services we include at the moment, and the future, it awaits more. Now think to yourself, why would you choose anything but Janus? Janus in itself is awesome, but the best part is that it targets multiple SDGs, which stands for Sustainable Development Goals, such as primarily good health and well-being, which is the third SDG, as we provide therapy to those in need, which enables their minds to function calmly and not overexert themselves. Secondly, quality education, which is the fourth SDG. Since our counselors are well educated and qualified, we would be able to provide effective career counseling, sex education. Moving forward, Keshav will be telling you on how we plan to market our product.
So I hope you guys got who our customers are. Now let me tell you how are we going to get them. To market a product, we need to follow some marketing strategies, which are as follows. Cause marketing is a cooperative effort between a for profit organization and a non profit organization to promote both. We would increase the donations for charity in and return we would get a better reputation and customer hype. By earned media and PR, we make and maintain our reputation and image through various sources such as word of mouth, television, radio, etc. A conversational marketing is the conversation between the chatbots and the customers. It allows them to self-service and get questions answered immediately. Social media marketing will improve our publicity and increase sales. We may publicize the application through Instagram, WhatsApp, Facebook, etc. We would approach partnering with schools by giving them a percentage of our profit if they pitch our app to the students, or we would partner with them and give them a discounted price if they decide to buy our services for all of their students. Some unfair advantages are as follows. It is the first one-stop solution in the market with personalized insights are driven by individuals' history and data. The founders being teenagers themselves, flexible package as per individuals' need and growth at point of time. It is one of the most affordable solutions, and I hope you understand the presentation and like the product. Thank you.
All right, good job, team. Well, now the floor is open for the judges. I guess Surbi went first last time. We can have Arvind go first this time. Arvind and Surbi, floor is yours.
Yeah, if Arvind wants to go first, I'm very happy about that. If he's comfortable, or else I can.
Go ahead, Arvind. I think it's your the mic is.
I'm comfortable in fact. So a very wonderful presentation. In fact, very two straightforward questions. One, again to the cost factor. So as just mentioned that it is the most affordable solution for the teenagers. So what is the affordability for me? I'm a 16-year-old. I'm a 16-year-old boy studying in a government school in South Delhi, and I come across your application. And you come to a school, you have marketed your product, and I like your product. So what would be the cost to me?
So 2000 would be our starting, would be our monthly package, 2000 for 1 month, and our cheapest product would be yearly, which would be 8500 per month per year. If we partner with schools, then the cost would be really low, like around 6000 yearly. So 500 per month around it would come for government schools, and for private schools, if we partner, the price would be same around 6000. Without partnership, the price would be 8500 per year.
Okay. So 2000 rupees per month and 8000 per year if for a government school, and it cost increases by 500 if it's a private school. If it is a private school.
The cost doesn't increase, it just decreases if we partner with any school. If we partner with any school, the cost would go considerably down.
So if it's sponsored by someone, by any individual, by any organization, by the school, by any institution, the cost would not be there. Okay.
Yeah.
So what, as you mentioned in the presentation, there was a slide wherein you discussed about the services which will be given through the application. Is it are the same one, or something would be more there in the application?
There would be 4 different products that you can buy. There would be life coaching for teenagers, there would be therapy, there would be career counseling, and there would be sex education.
Okay. So as far as my understanding with regard to the government schools students, I find it a bit expensive. The monthly package. I'm not sure about the school whether whether the school is going to actually sponsor my fee, since I get the dress reimbursement of the fee from the school, get the reimbursement of my school uniform from the school itself. The government actually pays, to us, and therefore, we come to school, we get the midday meal free of cost. So we get everything is free for us. The government actually sponsors. So so instead of and the government schools have very less say, as far as the financial aspects are concerned. So therefore, have you any actually uh, internally discuss how the government you are going to pitch the same model to the government, for example, the Delhi in Delhi or in some other states? What would be the mechanism actually we are going to pitch to the government itself?
Yes, sir. So right now there are 250 million teenagers going to schools. Out of those,
Okay.
119 million go to private school, 119 million, and 131 million go to government schools. Now, with the
To the
government
government.
schools, government is itself a body. So if we pitch if government accepts the idea and we give them like maybe even a 50% discount rate, we so that would be like if we just partner with the government, it would be almost free cost for 131 million teenagers, and it's not a product, it's a service, right? So if we have a lot of students, then we can cut the service fee very low, because it's a service. So generally therapy prices are really high because the students are less or the customers are less. That's why the service is high. If we increase the students, the service would go very down.
So will I be required an Android phone to use the service through the application?
Sir, Android, iOS, Mac, Windows, everything.
Compatible with all devices.
Yes, sir. We have a website for
it-
PC and an app for phones.
So for that, it means I need a app, the phone, either the phone or the laptop or the computer.
Yeah, because
to
it's an
access this-
application. So like you'll have to download it and then you'll
It's
be
an
able to-
application. Okay. So third and the very last one, in fact. So what is the initial cost you require to actually set up this application?
Sir,
What is the
the cost
initial
is
cost
actually, yes, sir. So the initial cost is actually very low. The development cost is around $140 for the entire app. The service fee for the server, we have to keep the server on. So that would be around $60 every year. So it costs $200 every year to maintain the app, and the website, it would be around $100 to maintain the server. So that would be around $300 per year for every application and every website that we have. For the people that provide the service, it would we don't have to pay anything, because we would be hiring them and demanding a commission, or we would give the students a discounted rate and taking a commission from it. So commissions are our main thing. Our commission would be around 4 to 5%, which is actually really low for this kind of industry. But for even with that, we can make hundreds of crores of revenue every month.
Okay. So so in the Indian rupee, what would be the initial setup cost? The development of the application, the hosting charges, and the other logistics.
Sir, under 20,000. If we include marketing, it would be around 60,000 rupees.
So you need
Marketing is
50,000.
actually, yeah.
Okay, so you need 50,000 rupees to actually to make the product available.
No. We need 20,000 rupees to make the product for 1 year, and then it would be 6,000 recurring free every year to maintain the server, and we need 30,000 to market our product to gain more profit.
Okay, so supposedly I give you 20,000 rupees right now to actually develop the product. So how long would you take to actually make the final version of the product available?
4 days, sir.
4 days.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And so after the 4th day, I will be able to access the services of the application.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And if I invest 20,000 rupees and additionally 30,000 rupees on marketing and other course of uh, other areas, so in total I spent 50,000 rupees. What would be the my profit margin in that?
Sir, if you invest 50,000, then it depends on how you are investing in us. You are giving us a loan,
Okay.
or whether you are buying in our company, you are getting equity. It depends on that.
Mhm.
If you are like buying in, then you would get a share of the profit. So it depends on the profit. So if you are buying in, then it's definitely a long-term profit. You won't get 50,000 back in maybe 1 week. You won't get it back.
No,
in
I'm not
1
going.
month.
No, I'm not going to actually give the interest-free loan. It's not the loan. I'm actually I want to become a part of the company, to take it ahead. And then so what will be the equity? Is it already established, or is it going to establish? It's just a presentation right now.
Sir, we have everything on board. So for
Okay.
career counseling, there is a firm called My Agla Kadam. It's a firm based in Chhattisgarh. And
Okay.
they are ready to partner with us. For therapy,
Mhm.
there is betterlife.com. And we have talked to them in 2 weeks, and I think we can definitely get them on board. With children, there is a school called DPS Raipur and Bhavans.
Okay.
Both we have done research in Chhattisgarh only right now. So they both are definitely interested in us, but they would only buy or use our product if the therapists and the career counselors are very experienced. So Maigla Kadam has been for 30 plus years, Better Life has been for 10 plus years, and they have a lot of therapists, and everyone has a minimum experience of 20 plus years.
Okay. My last question to the whole team. So how is it going to impact the life of a teenager, the adolescents? Have you mapped how is it going to impact
Yes, sir.
their sex education, the level of their sex education, the reduction in their anxiety, depression? Yeah, please.
Yes, sir. So as I mentioned, there would be 4 days. So what I didn't mention was out of those 4 days, 3 days would be only to develop the AI. So what we are going to do is we are going to have an artificial intelligence. What that does is, first of all, for example, let's take therapy. So now the student, as soon as he opts for therapy, he would be given a quiz by the AI. The student would tell every problem he has, or what kind of problem in what criteria he has, to the AI. And so the therapy is not recommended to everyone. It's recommended to everyone, but not every day. So you have to take therapy once a week maximum. You don't do more than that. So what it does is, every week, whatever the key points of you were, and whatever thing you improved on, it would make a note of that and put it in a folder which you can always access. So you can always see what your progress is, or what your problems are, what you need to work on. Same with career counseling, that what you need to work on to get in these colleges. Same with sex education, what problems you had, what you couldn't understand, it would make a note of that, and you can always see it.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, over to you.
Sure. Thanks, Arvind. I think he's made my job easy and difficult because he's asked already a lot of interesting questions. So, yeah, so starting off, I want to congratulate the team. I think it's a brilliant idea, very interesting and very pertaining to today's day and age, where a lot of people are struggling with mental health issues which go unidentified. So first question is that all of us know that mental health issues are still considered a taboo, and they are somewhere or the other socially stigmatized. So my first question is, how will you identify your target group? Because a lot of times people or children who are going through mental health issues do not themselves know, or their parents or their families would not know, or even if they would know, they would not want their children to go out there and speak about it. So for someone to use this service, how will you identify that person is going through a problem, and they will come to your website or to your service? That's the first question.
So the people who we are going to cater to are going to be only teenagers, but our customers aren't going to be only teenagers. It's going to be schools and parents as well, because parents would buy for their children. So the thing is that we are going to we have a lot of marketing strategies that don't cost that much, but still have a lot of effect. For example, let's take cause marketing. That's a kind of marketing we have. So what we are going to do is that we are going to partner with a mental health NGO, and we are going to work with them. What they do is that they publicize their product, and in return they get increased donations, or they also get publicity. And we are going to focus on social media marketing. So right now most teenagers use any kind of social media, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Instagram. Everyone uses that. So spreading awareness through that is like really, really important. And right now, the most influence that someone has over teenagers are celebrities and YouTubers. So there are a lot of YouTubers and celebrities who would be like very excited to work with us for free. So there are a lot of celebrities who won't charge any money for this kind of cause, just to tell people about our product, and that would like increase our sales. Plus, new customers would come to us. We also have earned media and PR to keep a good word of mouth among teenagers about us. So among teenagers, word of mouth is also very, very strong. Anything can become like from very top to very very low, like Fortnite. So everything can go down very easily. That's why word of mouth is very important. So that
So
would be also
basically, you are going to tap the channels that already exist, but not kind of get in touch with people who are silently suffering. I mean, you were telling me that your connections will be only with the people who are already in touch with NGOs. They can be parents or extended family, but children who might be in classes or who might be suffering but don't know of the services, how will you reach out to them?
So first of all, schools would definitely promote our product to their children, that if you are facing any problems, then they just communicate to it. So any teenager who is facing
Can I correct something to Shrey's point?
Yeah, sure.
Sorry to interrupt you, Shrey. So as you was mentioning about schools, a lot of times schools have a lot of counselors, and these counselors are always in charge of noticing how a child is reacting and behaving in school. So they will be able to identify when a child is low or what problems they are facing. When Janice partners up with them, we will be able to provide them services. In the beginning, we can also provide them 1 or 2 free trials to see how we are helping them. And eventually, they will feel comfortable with our app and comfortable with the product, and they will choose to work with Janice to allow Janice to help them and benefit them. So the way you said, the ones who are silently suffering, I'm pretty sure school teachers will be able to pick them out very easily, and we will be able to provide them with services.
Sure. It just links up to my next question. If there is already a counselor within the system, why will they come to you? Like, is there a value proposition or a cost benefit or some sort of a leverage that they will superpass a specialist already sitting in the school to come to you?
So the issue is that, first of all, many teenagers I have seen are ashamed of going to a career counselor. They think that if they go to them, not a career counselor, just a counselor in general in their school, most people are really ashamed of that. And people like, they don't trust their offline therapists. So the issue is that it's really, really expensive. First issue is that. And second issue is that they don't trust them. Because they are surrounded by 3,000, 2,000 students, and they don't want to go to a therapist in front of them. And that's why online is definitely a better option. Plus, it's way too cheaper. And with 3,000 children, they need to hire a lot of career counselors to cater to them. While we have a lot of technical superiority, which would ease the ease the counselors' work, and they would be able to cater to a lot bigger audience, the counselors.
Okay, sure, sure. Okay. And you've said that you will be having both free and paid services. So how will you identify what is free and what is paid? And for the free, how will you sustain or maintain them? Because even if you provide free services, somewhere or the other, you will have costs to give those services. So how will you cover those?
Yeah. So the thing is that the free one won't cost actually that much. So with the free thing, we hire, let's say, five career counselors or five therapists. They keep on check on what is going in a teenager's life, because they already have at least some audience of the same age group. So what they do is they take out some particular articles that would help everyone with these kind of things. Like if a teenager is facing some problem but he can't afford, or his parents can't afford, then he can just tell his problems to the AI, and it would point it to the right articles that the therapist has already chosen.
Okay. My next question is about being on the spectrum, because I've kind of worked closely with people who have mental health issues. A mental health problem is never, it's never like completely fine or completely bad. There are people who are on the spectrum and they keep moving. The symptoms get better or they get worse. But once they are diagnosed, they will keep moving on the spectrum. So with the approach that you gave me when you shared the pitch, it is that the problem exists and it is there, and it will cater to the people who have these problems, who have mental health issues. But I nowhere in your pitch saw an idea or any aspect about well-being, because health per se is a broader spectrum. So there will be certain children or people who will not have any problem, but who can get better from where they are. So, is there any positive connotation to this entire concept, or are you bringing in this whole, any ideas of bringing an angle of wellness into the discussion? Because all that I see in the pitch is that you're trying to cater to the problem of mental health or of lack of sex education or of career, So, anything to bring that whole thing on the more on the positive side.
Yeah. So your question is that basically people are facing physical problems as well, right?
I'm saying well-being के बारे में कुछ बात नहीं हुई. मतलब the idea is कि सबको problem है. मतलब हम सिर्फ problem को cater करने के लिए ही service दे रहे हैं. पर कुछ ऐसे बच्चे भी तो होंगे ना जो है normal है वो, मतलब पर they can be better from where they are. At the physical level, they can get fitter from fit, they can get smarter from smart, they can get more well from where they are. So is there any service or any kind of thing which will help them more to go towards the well-being side, not just dealing with a symptom or a mental health problem?
So we had this idea to actually incorporate fitness into this as well. But the issue is that fitness has a pretty high cost. So what we did was we delayed this thing in a few to do it like after 12 months or maybe 18 months, when we have the funds to incorporate this. We don't.
Yeah, so like initially we're targeting a very limited number of problems to see what the response is to our app. And eventually we are planning on taking problems on a wider range, on a wider base, and we will be solving a lot of more problems teenagers face. But at the moment, we don't want to create hopes and expectations that we will never be able to achieve. We want to stick to the base and enable ourselves to reach the best of our ability at the moment. So I think that once we are able to solve the problems of people who are already facing problems, we're going to get a better idea on how to ensure that they remain being happy and how to ensure that they don't go back and they don't face these problems again. So we just like we were going to like put in various ideas and various more things we were planning on, but it was like we weren't able to hit the spot at the moment, so we didn't want to set false expectations.
Sure. Thank you. Thanks for that response. I come to my final question. You have mentioned in your presentation that there'll be privacy that will be maintained while the services are being offered, but a lot of times we see and go through children who are very close to committing suicide or doing something which will be really off track. So is there any mechanism of alerting the school teachers or the primary caretakers like the family or the parents for something like this in your idea?
Ma'am,
So for this,
yeah,
we are offering online sessions and individual online sessions. As Shrey has pointed out before, we will be facing online sessions, and in these sessions, the therapists will be interacting with the students directly and understanding their problems as well. So understanding their problems will give therapists a better overview that what is the problem which the student is really facing, because in the teenage, even the small problems which we are looking for is big for those students who are facing. So we will be directly tackling with the students, and the therapist will be directly understanding the problems which the students are facing. So it will be a face-to-face overview in the online sessions.
yes, ma'am. And just to add to that, to extra to make sure to give a certain we would, that is also like a future thing, because right now we can't code something to connect to his watch or Apple Watch or iOS watch, anything like that we can't do right now because we don't have the funds to do it. If we make 80,000 or even 1 lakh, that's not a super high amount. Even if we do that, we would be able to connect it to their watches or maybe even phones. Uh, it would be basically able to measure their heartbeat and let the parents know if anything has gone wrong, or measure their health or something, just in the boundaries of that, to let the parents know what if he is doing anything wrong right now, because the heartbeat is going to go up.
Yeah, but this is our idea for the problem that you proposed. At the moment, this is what we think the solution for that could be. It could even improve. It depends over time on how our app progresses.
Sure. Yeah, I think I'm done with my set of questions. Thank
All
you.
right, thanks a lot,
Thank you.
judges, for such great questions. And I think these questions were very beneficial to both the teams. But we have exactly 6 minutes and 3 seconds left until this meeting gets over. So I would like all the students to go to the main link, and the judges